First thing, Billy, I got some breaking news. The water's back on. My water's officially back on, Billy. It's time. It's time to celebrate. I thought we were gonna be a whole other week, but it's official. The water's back on. We're good.
Well,
We're good
that's
now.
always good news. That's good news.
Excellent news. And actually, more greater news. The Mavericks won tonight. And they won without having Kristaps Porzingis on the court like everybody was crying about tonight.
Yeah, big win for the Mavericks tonight, especially given the fact that the Grizzlies are ahead of us in the standings. They're one of those teams that's within, striking distance of us catching. So anytime you get an opportunity to play a team like that, you want to go ahead and get a win. And they did. Without, as you said, Kristaps Porzingis was out tonight with a stiff back, I think is what they were reporting. And he sat out tonight's game. But thank God for those other guys in blue, man. They stepped up and they got it done.
They didn't need him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can agree with you on that, man. After looking at the game, it was obvious that they didn't need him tonight. But I think, for myself, I can't speak for everyone else, but I know for myself, I wanted Porzingis to play. I didn't realize he was having a back issues. I didn't know that. I thought it was just like hey, we're about to get into a serious stretch, so we're going to sit him tonight. And I was like, no, he needs as much reps as we can get him. So that's why I was against him playing.
There's no back injury. They're just sitting him out for tonight. That's all it was.
Is that what it is? So there's no stiffness to the back?
Huh?
So you don't think there was no real issue with his back? You think that was just all PR?
No. They found an excuse to sit him out tonight. They didn't need him. And this is the point I was trying to have with you guys earlier. They don't. If you need Kristaps Porzingis to meet the Memphis Grizzlies, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. You don't need him to beat the Memphis Grizzlies.
Well, the thing is, I don't know that you needed him to beat the Grizzlies, but you do need him to keep in mind he's still working his way back. I don't think that he's still at 100%. Every opportunity he can play is a good opportunity, man. That's the way I look at it.
Billy, we got 3 serious upcoming games. Okay, we're on a night of a back-to-back. We need Porzingis. They shouldn't even let Luka play tonight. Honestly, you could have taken an L on this game because we need these next 3 games. These next 3 games, I was going to tell you about the Mavericks tonight.
But you told us when you were talking, man, you would have led us to believe that even with a healthy Luka and KP, we don't stand a chance against in these next 3 games. So
I would still rather I'd rather sit him tonight and not risk injury and play him the rest of these next games and I'd rather him get injured in one of the next games than to get injured against the Memphis Grizzlies of all teams.
Man, listen, I keep telling you, Walt, the Mavericks are not that good of a basketball team to where we can poo-poo anybody. We need our guys when we play basketball games, period. We're not the Clippers. We're not Ring James and those guys. We're the Dallas Mavericks. We're a young team. We're coming along, but man, we're not just leaps and bounds better than these other teams, so where we could just sit guys. I don't believe that's the case.
Listen. It's okay. It's just Memphis. Had it been anybody else, I might have threw a fit, but it's just Memphis. It's the Memphis Grizzlies. Come on. What threat do the Memphis Grizzlies? The Mavericks were tearing the Memphis Grizzlies up the whole game. What are we doing? They didn't need him tonight.
Knowing what we know now, yeah, maybe not.
No, you don't need him tonight. Tim Hardaway had 29 points. You don't need him. Come on, man.
So you would have been completely comfortable playing without Luka and KP tonight, just running the other guys.
Just fine. I would have just fine. I wouldn't even care if they even lost this game. Come on, man. This game means nothing. The next 3 games are the one where I need to. The next 3 games are going to tell me about my Mavericks. That's what I'm looking for.
That's the measuring stick. Okay.
Yeah, that's the measuring stick. Okay, those are one of the potential teams that you can, if you were to get to the finals, somehow get to the finals. That's one of the 3 potential teams that you could see.
Okay.
So I need to see how you measure up against the 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. You should beat the Boston Celtics by hell. Lonzo Ball and Zion beat them yesterday. You skip past Boston.
Yeah, I think they will. Let's just say hypothetically speaking here. Let's just say the Mavericks go 3-0 over the next 3 games. Okay, that means they beat the Sixers, they beat the Nets, however they come out, and they take care of the Celtics tomorrow night. Okay, are you gonna be willing to go ahead and put more respect on the Mavericks and say, hey, this is a contending? Because you said these are the only games that are going to really matter against the big dogs.
Billy, start the parade if they win the next 3 games. Get the parade ready.
We're taking it straight down victory lane.
Get the parade ready if we win these next 3 games. Just get it ready. It's over.
That's it. I can get on board with that.
Just get it over. Just bring us the championship now, okay? Just bring it to us if we win the next 3 games.
It's over. No need to even finish the season.
Yeah, I don't care if somebody goes down with an injury, okay? I don't want to hear that. Well, they beat him because they had an injury. They better beat him if one of the players goes. If Joel Embiid goes down, you're gonna put your foot on their necks and run them out the court.
Yep.
Beat them up there.
That's it.
If Kyrie and James Harden gets hurt in the Brooklyn game, you better tear him up.
Yeah.
Go to work. Don't hold no.
Don't you
hold nothing back. Don't you hold nothing back.
That's what you do. Take advantage of it.
All right, man. Let's get into these highlights real quick. Let's take a look at this here. See what we got. Oh, kick doors. Look at that.
Oh,
your guy,
yeah.
Kick doors gave you 17 tonight, I think.
Yeah, 17 and 7. He played very well tonight. I noticed tonight, I think I sent you guys a text message. He had on the retro Jordan 10s, which is one of my favorite all-time pairs of Jordans. Though he didn't look like Jordan tonight, he was, he played well, man. He played well, and he had the tough assignment of picking up John Moran all game too. So big credit to Josh Richardson tonight. This is what I was telling you, Walt. This is the type of guy he is. He could give you scoring, but he's also not afraid to take that big assignment, and he did a very good job tonight.
Shout out to Shane, who's got his buddy Ryan in here tonight. We got a new watcher tonight, so be on your best behavior tonight. Be on your best
Ryan,
behavior.
I'm a very bad person. I'm a bad influence, so do not listen to me.
Yeah, here we go right here. What we got right here? We got Luka coming down the paint. Booyah Shaka right there. Come get you some. Jaylen Brunson.
Luka is actually bullying those guys.
Jaylen Brunson, I think, what did he have, 19 tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, John Morant, 20 quiet. I mean, that was Valanciunas, but John Morant had a quiet 22 tonight. Oh, nice pass.
Yeah.
Valanciunas. Oh. I'm surprised that he used Valanciunas more in this game with see how the Mavericks were at a height disadvantage this game.
Well, I think they did. They did go ahead and use Valanciunas, man. He just missed a lot of easy shots tonight right there at the bucket. So, I mean, we kind of got fortunate in that way, but they did try to get him the ball down there, and he was bullying Dwight Howard. He's just too big of a guy.
Let's just get this Dwight Powell love fest out of the way. No, it shouldn't be too much of a love fest. He actually played good defense tonight. He gave you 6 points. That's not too much, you know.
I mean, not nothing big on the scoreboard or anything, but I mean, the energy he played with, man. I told you, Dwight Powell, his thing is he's going to get guys going. You can put him into the game at any point, and he's going to raise the level of play just based on his energy alone. He's going to get those extra tip outs for you on the rebounds. He's going to make the hustle plays. He's going to get a couple of dunks based off Luka creating for him. He's a valuable piece to this basketball team. I know people want to discredit him, but when Dwight Powell's out there, man, he helps change the momentum of the game.
I'm one of those people.
Hey.
It was a very dominant game by the Mavericks to start off. I mean, by the time the second quarter, it was just dominant.
Yeah,
we got Luka right here coming around. Just easy. Come on, man, it's too easy for Luka to get to the basket.
He's doing whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, he's doing whatever he wants to do. Couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That was you got. Was that you got Dwight Powell? Yeah, that was you got Dwight Powell.
Yeah, I think it was. Just, right there, and Luka giving them the ball. I mean, those are easy buckets that Dwight Powell can get. And a lot of the other guys, too, man. Luka creates for the guys on the floor, man. I've said it. The game is really simple when you have a guy that can create. All you have to do is knock down shots, man. Get your layups when they're easy ones. Knock down the shots. You're good to go. And go back down and play defense. That's all you got to do.
All you got to do.
Luka makes the game so much easier for the guys.
Look at him. This is Ja Morant with a good pass right here. Remember, I told you the other day he's Iverson with hops.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Here he comes right here to the basket. Just throws it up. Man, it got kind of scary for a minute. The Mavericks, they set Luka down, and Grizzlies went on this run right here.
Yeah.
Which they kind of had to put Luka back in the game.
You have to help finish it.
Here they go. Here you go, running a nice play. Booyah shaka.
Yeah.
I see this right here on the screen. I'm about to address this. Here in a second.
Here we go.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm about to address it. I am about to address it. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Well,
that was for Mitch Daniels. That was for Mitch Daniels who put that on there.
Yeah, man, we might have to go ahead and block Mitch Daniels a couple times, man, because he's getting a little reckless out here with some of these comments. He's getting a little reckless.
Somebody said, when was the last time a young team won a chip? Golden State Warriors, the first time.
Yeah, they were a pretty young team.
That was a very young team. Mitch is giving you the laugh right now. Luka miss.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move you around, Mitch. You're causing conflict amongst our viewers and everything, man. We can't have you out here doing that type of stuff. We can't have you out here doing that type of stuff. We can't support those type of antics.
This guy here was just in fuego tonight. He was in fuego.
He was.
Man, he was in fuego. I mean, everything he put up tonight was hot. I think this is where the game got a little closer. They went on a run. They started knocking the shots down. Memphis did.
Yep.
And Anderson, I remember him. He's from San Antonio.
Yeah.
He's from the Spurs. They had Justice Winslow out the court tonight. I didn't understand why. I think he was a part of Jay Crowder trade. There's another part. You're not giving Tim a lot of love tonight, man. I know you spoke on it for a second, but can you give Tim some love tonight? 29 points.
Of course I can. I mean, Tim Hardaway. He was the leading scorer tonight. He came in. You got to keep in mind, he gave me 29 off the bench, which is key. So he gave me some lemon pepper Lou vibes tonight, man. Just coming off the bench and just filling it up. That's what I saw.
Look at Shane. Shane say, "My guy THJ off the bench."
Yeah, he came in and he shot the ball well. And like I said before, Walt, this is what it comes down to when we're talking about THJ. When he comes in and he's on fire, he's ready to shoot the ball with confidence, man. It makes him a viable option offensively, and teams start to run out on him. He can show the ball, get in the lane for that mid-range jumper or whatever, get all the way to the cup, and then you can get the ball around the perimeter more. That's when Finney Smith and those guys were able to knock down shots in the corner. When you have THJ and then you have Luka, and then again you didn't have KP tonight, but assuming he's out, three guys are running. No, but just in general, when you have those three guys on the floor and they're all shooting the ball well and doing what they do, man, this Mavs offense becomes unstoppable.
Hey, I got some breaking news about Kristaps Porzingis and for Mavs fans and DFW media, everybody who wants Kristaps Porzingis traded. I got some bad news for you, okay? He's not going anywhere, okay? Forget that. He's not going anywhere, okay? There is no trade, no Porzingis. It's not happening, okay? Breaking news right here. I'm giving it to you first. Kristaps Porzingis is going to be here for the long haul, okay? At least for another, I want to say 2 years at the most. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. You're stuck with him, okay? Reason why? You made him a max player, number one. Number two, nobody wants him. When they had offered, think about this, when he was on the trade market, I think Jeff Kavanaugh made this great point earlier. When he was on the trade market earlier, what did he get traded for? Dennis Smith Jr. and some draft picks. That's all it took. So if he couldn't get traded the first time around, what makes you think you're going to trade him the second time around for a first round pick? It ain't happening. Get off of it. Only way he's leaving is through free agency. Or if you trade him, it's going to be way later on down the line where you ain't going to get nothing for him at all. You're not getting the first round pick. You're not getting Bradley Beal for him. You can kill that noise. You're stuck with Kristaps Porzingis.
Well, why do we have to make it seem like we're like people say we're like what you just said? I mean, we're stuck with them like that's the worst situation that the Mavericks could have ever been in. People act like Kristaps Porzingis is a bad basketball player. I wish they would stop that.
It's not that you're stuck with him like that. I'm saying like you're not getting off of that contract. You gave him a max deal, okay? So with that being said, it's going to be harder to deal him, especially when he's missing games.
That's true. I don't even think the Mavericks should be even looking to try to entertain that type of thing unless that was just some ridiculous deal that came down the pipe that nobody expected and we could deal Porzingis for somebody that's going to be a clear upgrade. I think we just need to go ahead and rest that whole conversation. Don't talk about including him in no packages. Go with what you have, man. We still have not seen what him and Luka can do together. We still have not seen that. I think there's a chance that we can see that after the All-Star break, but people just need to calm down. This is what kills me too, man. This is the thing that kills me. People forget just last year. Well, not even the full calendar year ago. KP was in the playoffs balling. And if he does not get hurt in that Clippers series, I'm telling you what I know, man. The Mavericks win that series. I don't give a damn what nobody has to say. I don't give a damn about no Clippers Nation or these so-called basketball aficionados and all that stuff. The Mavericks had something for the Clippers. And if KP does not go out in that series, the way he was balling, man, they were going to find a way to win that series. And we were all loving and praising him then. Then he got injured. And then people act like, the first day he comes back, he's supposed to do this. And if he's not meeting those expectations off the top, then, we need to try to dump him. He's no good. We got to stop being so fickle, man. He's your guy. He's all of our guy. We got to roll with him. Let's move forward, man. All this, every time KP doesn't play, it's time to trade him. He missed the shot. Or somebody blocks his shot. We got to trade him. He's too soft. You got to stop doing that, man. Surely you guys get tired of doing that. It's ridiculous, man. It reminds me of I'm not even going to bring that up, but it reminds me of another guy that plays sports here in Dallas, and you guys ridiculed and criticized him at every opportunity you had.
Well, Billy, you make an excellent point, and but that's just the way Dallas teams are. I mean, look at the Cowboys. I mean, people are fickle with the Cowboys like every 5 minutes. But yeah, of course, this guy at Tovach 10, great follow. Get over there and follow this camp. They talk God sports over there. A guy who will be in the studio with tomorrow night when we do the Boston Celtics postgame show. This guy here, he finds any way to rip. He'll find any way. I mean, this guy, he goes no expense. Okay, now we got a troll in here right now. We got a troll in here. Okay, I'm not standing for this.
Get my boy in there. Get him in there. By any means necessary, get my guy in there.
I'm just saying. So, all right, so let's get to the stats real quick. We talked about your guy, the White Pal, having 6 points. Josh Richardson was 17. Luka had 21 tonight. What's up with your nephew tonight? What's on a night we're playing the Memphis Grizzlies? He only gave you 21?
You know what, man? Luka, didn't it's to what we had said before, man. I think, Luka's starting to get that idea down that, hey, maybe if I get these other guys involved early, the game won't have to be all on me. Again, Luka can pick his spots. He can get his whenever he wants to. Luka wants to have a 12-point quarter. He can have a 12-point quarter. Anytime he wants it, he can have it. So it's not a big deal. I thought Luka was very I'm not going to say he wasn't aggressive, but there wasn't that same level of aggression offensively from Luka Doncic tonight. And then again, when Hardaway and Jaylen Brunson and those guys are hitting shots, you keep going to the hot man, and those guys stayed hot the whole night. So there wasn't really a big reason for Luka to score the ball. Again, the only down part of tonight when it comes to Luka Doncic is the record that he had and the consecutive games of scoring 25-plus points. That did end tonight. So that's if you want to call that a bummer, then be that as it may. But I'm sure Luka Doncic doesn't mind trading that in for a W, which they got tonight. So we all know what it is. Luka can get 25 anytime he wants to. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. So get the W, guys.
Dodo gave you 4 points tonight. Maxey looked like he had a sprained ankle situation going on.
Yep. I think that was in the was it in the fourth quarter? I think it was early in the fourth quarter. I think he sustained that injury.
Yeah.
And it did. I mean, he was able to put pressure on it and walk it off over there, but they got him to the back. Hopefully, we'll get some news that it's a something negative on the scan when they do it, and hopefully it's something maybe he sits out a day or so and then he's ready to go.
Who else we got here? Tim Hardaway had 29. Jaylen Brunson 19. Cauley Stein only gave 4 points tonight. Here's one that kind of shocked me. Trey Burke played 10 minutes and only gave you 0 points.
Yeah, I don't even remember him really like trying to shoot the ball like that.
I saw him shoot a couple shots. He was good.
Oh, well, I mean, it's one of those nights, man. It just seemed awkward, man. All of the guys that you expected to score tonight didn't really score the ball. Like the Grizzlies, their starters, Ja Morant, I mean, yeah, like you said, he gave you 22 points, but they were very, very quiet 22 points. They weren't really meaningful, if you know what I mean there. So, it wasn't – the stars weren't out tonight, if you want to call it that. Luka didn't really have a big game, but neither did Ja Morant. But tonight was a game for the role players, and the Mavericks role players were just leaps and bounds better than the Grizzlies role players tonight.
Let's go over here to the Grizzlies. Valanciunas with 11. You said he was taking he got some good looks at the rim. He just wasn't. He got 15 rebounds though.
He killed us on the glass, man. I mean, that's a big old guy, man. I wouldn't mind. I might have a jersey for him, man, if he ever became available.
Whoa! Hold on, wait a minute. What are you trying to do right now?
I'm just saying, man. I like big body guys down in the paint, man, who can give me boards and stuff. I like that.
Oh, okay. So you got a jersey for Valanciunas, huh?
Listen, if the right opportunity came with that, absolutely.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have a jersey for Andre Drummond or Blake Griffin, or what about Boogie? Do you have a jersey for Boogie Cousins?
Listen. Let me tell you something. You just tell me the size, so I can make it happen for him. I got a jersey for all three of them. The problem is, as you and I both know, none of those guys are a good fit here, so it won't matter. Doesn't matter how many jerseys we can make them. We got all different colors and sizes and all them types of stuff. We got lots of undershirts for these guys, whatever they like, the compression shorts, leggings, whatever they need. They're just not good fits here. So the equipment room will not be tampered with when it comes to those guys.
Okay. I just want to see. I know you got a jersey for Valanciunas. I just want to see if you got jersey for jersey for those guys.
Anybody that likes to rebound and block shots and give me scoring in the paint, yes, sure do.
I keep hearing this Andre Drummond is an empty stat getter. His rebounds don't. I'm like, okay. I've never seen anybody who get 20 rebounds doesn't affect the game, but okay.
Yeah. I forgot who said that. That sounds like some ESPN type nonsense. That's what it sounds like to me.
Luka got everyone involved. He knows what he's doing.
Yep. That's what I said. It looked like he was just trying to get other people going.
Brunson is turning into a starter somewhere. Yeah, you know what's going to end up happening with Brunson? Brunson's going to end up starting on the Mavericks. I want to say by next year. He's going to be a starter, and they're going to take Luka off the ball.
Yeah. I can see that.
That's going to happen. They're gonna have to because Brunson. Well, I say this: as long as Rick Carlisle's here, Jaylen Brunson's gonna be here. He loves. He was on G-Bay talking about Jaylen Brunson. He loves Jaylen Brunson.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. He's a good player, and I trust Jaylen Brunson.
I would make him start. He would be my starting point guard.
And then move Luka to the 3.
Yep.
Okay. So
not even that. He would just be in my starting lineup. Period, though.
Okay, just get him out there, and then just let him down the floor. Yeah,
they can rotate on who wants to bring the ball down court, all that right there, set plays up that way. But Jaylen Brunson would be starting on my team.
Yeah.
If you can't find a way to get him to start trading, because he's not, you're devaluing him by making him come off the bench right now.
He's a starting caliber point guard for sure.
Yeah.
He's a starter in this league.
Most definitely. Like you don't. That's the one thing I hate about they'll keep a guys like, well, we want you to play on it. And it's like, nah, man, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to find a starting role for him, then trade him. Because honestly, you could do something nice to where you put Brunson, Hardaway. But I don't think Hardaway trade him too much longer. You could do Brunson, Hardaway, Luka, KP, and Maxey or whoever you want to put the power forward. But honestly, Tim Hardaway, I keep him on the bench. If he stays, I keep him on the bench and let Josh Richardson start.
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Man, well, I'm looking here under the thread. I don't know if you can see this on your end, but our guy Ryan, first time viewer of the show, he has a good question here. He says, who do you think ruined DSJ, the Mavs or the Knicks? Yeah, now I think that's an interesting question because I saw somebody else ask that on Twitter one day about DSJ seemed like he just fell off. Did he fall off while he was with the Mavericks or did the Knicks kill him in terms of what he is now? And I think it's too early in his career to determine or to say that he's a failure or anything like that.
No, they're going to consider him a failure because he didn't do anything. Okay, so here's the problem. I guess a peel behind the curtain story. Him and Rick started having problems with each other, just like every point guard has problems with Rick. Just like you see Luka, Jason Kidd had it, all Roddy Boo, everybody who point guards this team has a problem with Rick Carlisle, right? Dennis was showed on his face on the court though. And I personally feel like they gave up on him too quick. Okay. I thought that they should have kept him and Luka together at least 1 or 2 more years. But I guess, let's be honest here. Everybody was hyped about Dennis. Everybody trying to act like they wasn't. When they drafted Dennis, when he was dunking on people and getting in the dunk contest, people was loving it. And then Luka came and everybody was like, I don't know about him no more. Like, he's taken away from Luka and Luka needs it. And it's just like, okay, now the type of player Dennis Smith Jr. was when he was here, that's the type of player you need. You need somebody who's going to run down the paint and just give you that dog. And that's what Dennis Smith would do. But they wanted to go with Luka, which makes sense. And they had the opportunity to get Porzingis. Right now, I'm still not ready to say if it was a bad trade or not. Tobosh is already saying he'll tell you right now. At Tobosh10 on Twitter again. Go over there and give him a follow. They talk guys, sports, and porn over there. He's already saying the Knicks want to trade from the get. He says the Knicks want to trade from the get-go. He keeps saying we got a bag of damaged goods, and the Knicks want to trade. So at the end of the day, I don't think so because we got Tim Hardaway out of that deal, and look how Tim Hardaway was on for us.
People forget about that. THJ was part of that deal.
You got Trey Burke too. But the Knicks probably did ruin him because he had a coaching change. How many times? When he got there, I think they had
Fizdale there first.
Fizdale, then they fired Fitz. I want to say they had Hornacek still. No, they might not have had Hornacek. If they had Hornacek with Fizdale, and then Fizdale, they fired him, and I don't know who. I forgot who was doing it then. And then they just hired Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And now he's in Detroit. I haven't seen him play with Detroit yet. So
I haven't either. We were supposed to see him a couple of nights ago, but damn snowstorm.
Right. So I still don't know why the Mavericks couldn't play that game during the snowstorm, but whatever. I don't understand how the power at the AAC was going to save the power in South or Addison or Plano, but okay. Especially when Ted Cruz is off in Cancun. But that's
there. Story. Yeah.
That's either here or there.
They're actually, just FYI, they're calling him Fled Cruz. That's what they're calling him now, Fled Cruz.
I would say what hurt Dennis was getting traded from here. Mm-hmm. But I mean, because when he was with the Knicks, he had some good games. But they just went through some bad coaching, and they fired coach, and the Knicks is just a shamble of organization. So that's all that is.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I mean, I thought it was a great question by Ryan. I think Dennis Smith Jr. still has what it takes to be I think an elite level talent in this league, man. I mean, he's just going to have to find that team and find that fit where they will allow him to be who he is. And if they do that, man, I think DSJ can, be one of those rising stars again. Lord have mercy. Here we go, Walt.
Yeah, let's read it.
We got some breaking news via the Bleacher Report. I don't know how much stock you put in what they're saying, but this just came through. Mavs gauging KP's trade value. It says league sources confirming Dallas has quietly, quote unquote, sniffled around to gauge Kristaps Porzingis' trade value.
Okay,
this is the Bleacher Report.
They might have sniffled around with it, but it's not worth anything. If they trade him now, it would be because somebody bought him a good quarter. What if they said out tonight to try to trade him? What if they did it? I don't know. Me personally, I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, you can trade him, but you're not going to get back anything. If anything, you trade him, you need to get back some draft picks.
Yeah. I would not be looking to trade Kristaps Porzingis for an individual player because I don't think you're going to get the same value. Mm-hmm. If I was able to finesse some team out of a first-round pick, even if it's not a quote-unquote lottery pick, a first-rounder, man, I mean, you got to be able to go and continue to stockpile this talent, man. You got to be able to do that.
You got to go through the draft right now.
Yeah. And without picks, you cannot do that.
So, right now, well, I say this, as long as you got him on the team, you are going to have to go through the draft.
Yeah. Well, how surprised would you be if, say, tomorrow?
Now, I want to tell everybody this. Mm-hmm. If they trade Porzingis, you can forget about the playoffs.
Okay.
That's how. There is no playoffs this year. So you're basically taking a white on this season if you trade Porzingis.
There's not a player that can come back in the trade for Porzingis that would keep them as a contender to even get an 8th seed.
Who? You're shaking up the roster. You're shaking up the roster. So he's giving you what, 20 points a night? You better be getting another 20-point player a night to get that. You better be getting it. You better be talking to Chicago about Lauri Markkanen or somebody like that. Because if it ain't somebody who can score, there's no point. Because I'm letting you know right now, if you do that, the season's over.
Well, maybe they see something bigger.
There is nobody. They're not. It's not like they're a player away. There is nobody who's coming in here and saving it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they just want to get out from underneath it, man. I mean, I did find that very weird that all of a sudden Porzingis a back stiffness. We hadn't heard anything about this. There was no inkling of this, and then all of a sudden, during a time where everyone's supposed to be resting, you developed the back stiffness and it held you out of the game. Dude, we know how these NBA teams do, man. They put out these stories, they hold guys back when they feel like there's a pending deal that could be coming down the pipeline. Maybe the Mavericks do something that we don't.
Now my phone's blowing up with this Porzingis trade stuff or whatever. I mean, I just want to let everybody know that's fine. But the moment you trade him, playoffs are off the table.
Luka and that set of guys aren't good enough to contend for an 8 seed? Because all they got to do is get to the 8 or a play-in game, man. You don't think those guys without KP are good enough to get there? We're not talking about a 4 or 5 seed. We're just talking about 7 or 8.
What's the number one thing everybody keeps saying about the playoffs last year? After they got to the playoffs, what's the number one thing everybody keeps saying?
Oh, they need Porzingis.
If Porzingis had played, we would have went to the next round. So, what makes you think that's any different?
Well, I mean, you just said they weren't going to be able to even make the playoffs. I mean,
you're struggling with Porzingis, so you take him away. Unless you're getting somebody that's a 20-point player, you better be getting somebody that's worth it.
If they're just trading for picks, then in that case, then yeah, I think you better pick it up.
You better be about to get me some bonus from Indiana or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I will say this. I mean, as much as I rag on Donnie Nelson tends to, when he makes trades, maybe not the Porzingis trade, but when he makes trades, man,
the trade wasn't good either. The Rondo trade wasn't good. They better not do another Rondo trade either.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good move. Yeah.
They better not do another Rondo trade.
Well, I'm still holding out hope for Bradley Beal, man. I don't know how it would happen.
You're not getting it. They already said he ain't going nowhere. They're not trading him. He already said he don't want to go nowhere.
Man, he wants to.
Porzingis ain't enough to get you Bradley Beal. And only way you can get Bradley Beal right now is if he was tearing the locker room up. He ain't tearing the locker room up right now.
Yeah.
That's the only way you get him. Unless you just pull a James Harden and said, man, he's so bad, we got to get rid of him.
Yeah. Got to move him around. I don't know how to work out, man. I don't know. Only time will tell. But it is something that's being reported on Bleacher Report, and I'm looking at Twitter here, and Twitter's talking about it.
People, I got Mavs media blowing me up. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Hey, okay. If you do that, just no playoffs off the table.
Well, the playoffs aren't looking all that, good for us just right now as it currently is. So it's just going to be a matter of what the Mavericks decide to do. Are they going to want to go out? I mean, if you're getting something good for Porzingis in terms of picks, you might have to look into it, man, because this team's got to find a way to build through the draft, like you said. It's not going to happen in free agency. It's not going to happen just trade after trade after trade because you don't have the assets. The only way to acquire good tradable assets and is by way of having good young players with good young contracts, and you can't do that unless you get in the draft. So,
well, here we go. Here they go again. We're about to flip the roster upside down again.
Well, there's a person who we hold accountable for this type of stuff, and I told you about that before. I don't know what they're going to. And I think that's what's frustrating for a lot of Mavs fans. And I know for myself, man, it's that. What is the plan? Well, do you look at this Mavericks team and feel like we have a legitimate plan of action to help us go to the next level? Or are we still just fiddling around trying to figure it out? What is the plan?
I'll tell you this. If they trade Kristaps Porzingis, Tovas was right. The Knicks won the trade.
Well, yeah, of course. At that point, yeah, you don't have a guy anymore.
Tovas was right. The Knicks won the trade. If that happens, if it goes down like that, Tovas will be 100% correct because you just got him. You just got him, and you didn't even. You only basically played him for one season?
Yeah, pretty much one. Yeah, one season.
That's not that.
But as you say, you get up off of these contracts, so it's not a big deal. One way or another, you can get up off the contract. So if you're able to get out of it, I mean, I guess you can, still kind of save face a little bit. I mean, yeah, you gave up a lot to get them in terms of picks and stuff like that. But I mean, you just got to go back and it's okay if you made a mistake and you realize you made a mistake and you can go back and correct it. I have no problem with that.
That's been going on for too many years now.
Yeah, it has. I agree with that 100%. That's by way of your GM that you have in that big glass office that I tell you about. It's really going to boil down to him and what they're going to decide to do and put this team back together because right now the way they're building it is not correct. It's just simply not correct, man.
Mark Cuban said in the last when they won championship, we ain't done yet. They've really been done. They've really been done.
I remember that. I was all in my living room, jumping up and down, all excited and everything when he said that. But yeah, we've been done. We've been done.
Hey, Rick Carlisle spoke here. I got his post-game press conference here. Let's pull this up real quick.
Okay, Rick, we'll let you go ahead and start, and then open it up for questions.
Well, it was one of our best defensive games of the year. That was great to see. I just thought we had a real presence from the beginning. The ending was not what we wanted. You want to close out games better than that, but we talked about it a little bit afterwards, and we just got to concentrate a little bit better.
Kevin?
Hey, Coach. Obviously, the first game in 8 days and a difficult stretch with everything that's happened in the DFW area. What was the message and the conversations about remaining focused and locked in preparation for getting ready for tonight's game against the Grizzlies?
Yeah, it's a long wait. It's probably the longest stretch between games ever in the NBA. I mean, I don't even know if any COVID teams that have had an 8-day break, but I may be wrong. It's a long time. Our practices worked out well this week. And it was clear that our guys were anxious to get on the floor and compete. The work that we put into defense this week, I thought paid off tonight. And it's all about being able to sustain. And, Boston coming in here, second night of a back-to-back at home. They're an angry team. They lost a pretty substantial lead in New Orleans, so we'll get their best game, and it'll be another good test for us.
Tim Cato?
Hey, Rick, do you have an injury update on Maxey, and what are the chances him and or KP could play tomorrow?
No idea.
With Maxey, was it just an ankle turn?
That's what it sounds like, yeah. I went back to see him afterwards, and he wasn't back in the training room. So I have yet to talk to him. But I'm not going to speculate on that. I mean, I'm no doctor.
Okay. Max?
Thank you. Just wanted to ask you if you could elaborate a little bit on Maxey's game, what you were seeing from him and how happy you were, or maybe not.
Yeah, no, he's plus 13 when he's on the floor. He only took one shot. He had 5 rebounds. He had, 5 or 6 deflections, some important ones early in the game. The guy's a winning player. Forget about, how many points he scored or any of that stuff. He's a difference maker when he's on the floor. If you don't believe it, ask Cato, who's always looking at lineup stuff, and he'll tell you all about it.
Tim McMahon?
Rick, we missed you for a little bit there. Why were you late?
I was told that the players just lined up and came down here. So,
we like to see you first.
Them, because that's an awful that's slow pitch football for you.
Well, I know, but it's the question that everybody was wondering, so I figured I might as well ask it.
Oh. I was enjoying some blackened salmon, broccoli, and rice, if you must know.
You got any leftovers?
There's a little piece of broccoli left. It's got your name on it.
I love you, Rick.
Oh, man.
Likewise.
Oh, man, you guys. Okay, Jim?
It's not pepperoni and sausage pizza. Go ahead. Huh?
Hi, Coach. A dominant display in 3 quarters.
Tim, him and Tim, man, they got a great love relationship.
They're funny, man. Yeah.
Well, hold on, because we got the man with the hot hand tonight up next, 29 Tim Hardaway right here.
Tim, thanks for joining us. We will get into questions, and we'll start with Brad.
Hey, Tim. Memphis came into the game with the best field goal offense in the league. What did you guys show yourselves, especially in the first half, by limiting them to 36 first half points?
I guess those 8 days really helped. No, just staying locked in, man, and making sure that we carried over what we did in practice this last week, and made sure we carried it over into the game. We didn't know when we were going to play leading up to this point, so everybody just made sure they stayed locked in, made sure they took care of their bodies in the meantime, and when anybody's number was called, just go out there and make sure you go out there and play hard and play aggressive, play together.
All right, Kevin.
Hey, Tim, came out real aggressive in the first half with 20 points in the first half. Talk about what it is in terms of getting your mindset and rhythm, knowing when shots are starting to fall and how that continues to go for you throughout a ball game.
I said previously before the season, when I see one or two go in, it's pretty much it's an ocean for me, I feel like. And the game just comes naturally, and I just really, really pride myself in being one of our top shooters. And when I check in the game, I just want to be that spark plug for the team any way, shape, or form I can, and just make sure I bring that attitude.
Okay, Lance.
Yes, hello. Good evening, Hardaway Jr. Congratulations on the superb performance. You're welcome. But I wanted to touch on something that's off the court in light of the horrible weather conditions that Texas just experienced.
Yeah.
I saw that you and the Dallas Mavericks donated $1.25 million. And really my question is there any other groundwork that you would like to elaborate on that y'all did besides the donation?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more to be done. Obviously, it was gut-wrenching for sure, just to not only witness it but to be a part of it. And it was actually Dwight Powell that he came up to me, and not only myself, but he put in the group chat and see if some of the guys wanted to help out, and anything I could do, to give back to help the city, to make sure that everybody's all right, everybody's okay, especially through these rough times. I definitely want to be a part of it. So, I definitely, if there's anything that's going to happen, in the future, near future, next couple of days, I'm pretty sure we'll be involved.
Okay, Christos.
Hello, team. Congratulations on the win and the performance as well. I'd like to ask you what it means, the 92 points on defense tonight against a so talented team like Grizzlies, and also about.
Yeah, man. This trade stuff is ramping up, and a lot of Mavs fans, man, they're not buying it, Billy. They're like you. They're like, this isn't happening. They're not buying it. Look on Twitter right now.
It's not going over well, man. I just wish they would stop lying to us. Just keep it real, man. If you're looking to move KP, other NBA teams.
They might have been looking for a trade option. I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them at all. Do I think they're going to get anything? When I say that he's not going anywhere, I'm saying it to say you're not going to get the value back that you want.
Yeah. No, and let's just keep it real. When it comes down to trading players, period, it's about, who has the leverage. Both teams are going to – neither team is interested in making sure the other team gets the maximum potential for the trade. One team is going to get the worst end or the lower end of the trade. And so when it comes to KP, man, you're not going to get the value that you're maybe hoping for. And it is what it is, man. You've maxed the guy out. You're not going to get some type of big, huge trade-off. You're not going to get a Bradley Beal plus the Wizards' first-round pick for the next 2 years. That's not what's going to happen. You're going to get what the team is willing to give you, man, point-blank period. I think the Mavericks, if we're going to move KP, if you're not going to get that player that you think can be consistent and help you progress, then what we need to do is just be looking at draft picks, as many of them as we can get, and find a way.
Hey, Shane, before you go, we'll be in studio tomorrow, so that means we'll be taking phone calls tomorrow night. We'll be live in studio tomorrow night. But yeah, back to the situation. Yeah, you're right.
It's just a matter of what they want to do, man. I mean, the Mavs fans everywhere, all the MFFLs, we just got to, you guys got to relax. You can't get all worked up about it. It's going to be what it's going to be, man. So at the end of the day, we just need to just keep watching this team, stand in support of it, man. And, whatever they decide to do, let's just hope that it's going to be in the best interest of the Mavericks and we can proceed. If we get rid of KP and we get draft picks, let's just hope that we know how to utilize those, turn them into good players, or use them as good tradable assets in the future, if that's what we're going to use them for. But this team needs an infusion. They need to continue this youth movement. They need to continue to build around Luka and try to put something together, man, where we can have a young, talented next 5 or 6 years, man, that can be competitive in this tough Western Conference. Because if you think about it, Walt, the Mavericks are in a prime. Well, they got to get picks. They got to start getting these players, but they will be in a prime position. The Lakers are not going to be the Lakers for the next 5 years. Okay, as soon as LeBron leaves, that's over. You can hang that up. That's done. Okay, the Warriors, that's not going to last much longer. Okay, that's going to be done.
I think with the Warriors, you might have to continue with them for a couple because you know why? They're unselfish. They're not selfish people.
Yeah, but Father Time catches up to everybody. And Steph and some of those guys, I mean, they're not bad players. They're shooters. But what I'm saying is those guys are a little longer too.
Keep shooters together longer than you can. I want to say athletic guys.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just guys who are, who they use their athleticism. Their athleticism is more their game than their actual skill. Their skill level. So yeah, I understand that. But I just
with the Warriors, they'll lose Draymond. But other than that, no, they're not. No, they're not anytime soon. The threes will have the Splash Brothers will have to stop splashing for the what's name to break up. The Golden State Warriors.
I just don't see the Warriors being that same team over the next 3 years or so. I'm talking about over the next 3 to 5 years. I just don't see the Warriors being that top team. Yeah, they got some young talent that's coming up underneath it. They might be able to sustain a little bit, but the Lakers and their dominance will be over. The Clippers, that team's going to disintegrate.
So I want to feel like that's over after this year.
Yeah, it is. And the Nets, that team's going to disintegrate too. They got the ticking time bomb, and Kyrie Irving up there. That's going to blow up.
Yeah, super teams don't last longer than about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If the Mavericks can build a youthful team, man, and continue to grow, man, they might be there and be able to, kind of not run the West, but they'll be a consistent contender in the West every year. And just add the pieces and go win the whole damn thing, man. That's the goal.
I think we had one more interview. Jaylen Brunson, real quick. Let's check him out real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Jaylen, we'll get started with Chris.
Good evening, Jaylen, and congrats on the win. For you, staying ready and being ready for opportunities obviously is a big thing for you. You've been hot lately, and can you talk about what you do to make yourself prepare for these moments? Because, I mean, you come in and you're an instant spark for this team off the bench.
Yeah. First, I just want to thank just obviously Coach and Mavs for giving me this opportunity. But most importantly, thank my parents for always keeping me to have that same mindset, always staying ready, always preparing myself. My parents always told me to, if you study for your tests, you won't be nervous. You won't be scared to take it because you already have the answers. And so if I keep working my game, I keep studying the game of basketball. I won't be nervous when it comes to game time. I won't be surprised when it comes to game time. Just go out there and play the way I play. So big credit to the Mavs and my parents.
All right, Kevin.
Hey, Jaylen, good evening. Congrats on the win. What was the mindset and the conversation over the last 8 days about getting back to the basics, not just defensively, but overall from a team aggressive standpoint on both ends of the floor that you guys wanted to make sure you executed tonight, coming back for the first time in 8 days?
Yeah, we had a couple of good practices. They were pretty intense, really competitive. I think that set the tone for us kind of moving forward. And I mean, we didn't really have a lot of break in between games over the past month and a half. And so we went from that to 8 days off of no games. So we kind of reset our minds and kind of stuck together a little bit more.
Eddie?
Jaylen, I was going to ask if maybe you want to go in and start doing that NFL schedule, just one game a week. Seems to agree with you guys. But was it tough getting back in, getting a rhythm after so long not having any games?
It didn't feel like it out there, but let's see tomorrow on a back-to-back. Let's see. That'll be a real test.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Very short interview tonight by Jaylen Brunson.
Yeah, Jaylen looked like he had somewhere to go, man. He might be on his way to Dub City, man. He might be trying to go ahead and get there first.
Yeah. What we got tonight? Steak and potatoes night tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, steak and potato night tonight. We cook that on the grill, or we actually use George Foreman grill. We don't want that too heavy on the players.
Okay,
Back-to-back night.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're interested in get all that extra grease out of there. We don't need all that.
Yeah, we don't need all that. Just it's a little dry, but it's good for you. But so before we kind of wrap things up here, we got Boston tomorrow, primetime, TNT. We got Philly Thursday, primetime, TNT, and then Saturday night, primetime, against the Brooklyn Nets. What are we looking like?
Well, I think the Mavericks. I'm assuming KP will be playing tomorrow. Who knows? I want to say this real quick. I do have us beating the Celtics, but Walt, I think tomorrow will be the telltale signs. If Kristaps does not play in the game tomorrow, and we're still talking about back injury or back stiffness or whatever, Walt, I think it would be safe to assume at that point the Mavericks have something cooking. We might not know the ins and outs of it, but if he does not play tomorrow, and it's another we're holding him out because of the back thing, then Walt, I think we can call BS on it. And I think me, you, and the rest of the MFFLs out there will know what's going on. There's something cooking in that big pot that has upstairs. Okay. Now, what level of seasoning is going into that cooking? If it's going to be any good, that's a whole nother question. But there's something cooking. That eye on the stove is hot. Okay, and something's going on up there. We just need to wait and figure it out. That's if KP does not play tomorrow. But if he does play tomorrow, I do have the Mavericks winning that game against the Celtics. I know that we have Philly right after that. I have us going to Philly, and that game is in Philly, right?
Yeah, they're on the road.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think we can Philly. Brooklyn's going to be the game that I'm going to question, just because of the star power they have over there. Any of those guys can go nuts on any given night, and we just simply don't have enough defenders to check them.
Okay, so tomorrow night's game is here.
Yeah, and then we go to Philly.
And then we go to Philly and Brooklyn. And Orlando, and then we come back here for the Thunder on a Wednesday night.
Give me 4-1 over the next 5. 4-1.
Whoa. Who's the one? Brooklyn?
The one is Brooklyn.
Wow, so you got them beating the 76ers?
I got them beating the 76ers. I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
You don't have a big man to guard Joel Embiid.
They don't have anybody to guard Luka. No.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if he's playing, but yeah, they do. I had to check and see if Ben Simmons is playing.
Ben
Simmons is a good defender. Ben Simmons is a real good defender.
He don't have nothing for Luka. Luka got too much for him.
And they'll probably if he's not there, they'll probably throw Tobias Harris over.
Not worried about it. Not worried
Not worried
about it
about
in
it
the
now.
least bit. Not in the least bit.
Well,
Nephew, let me just go ahead and get this text message off to him. Just let him know that you're doubting what he'll be able to do in Philly. Just go ahead and get that over to him.
And what's the name said he's trying to be the best defensive player. Joel Embiid said he's trying to be the best defensive. He's trying to get this, so that coming in the paint. He said that's not going down.
Well, okay, all right.
That's not happening.
I hear what he's saying.
So we got you down for 4-1, and the one being Brooklyn.
Yeah, the one being Brooklyn. I think the Mavericks, but the Mavericks are the type of team, man, for whatever reason, they'll mess around and beat the Celtics. They'll go on a little run, man.
I'm gonna give them a dub against the Celtics.
Yeah, Mavericks are the type of team, they'll beat the Celtics, they'll mess around, beat the Sixers, and they'll mess around, beat the Nets, and then come home or then go and play the Magic and lose. Convincingly. That's the way this Mavericks team is set up. But I do have them winning 4 out of the next 5. I think they can take care of Boston, Philly, probably take an L against the Nets, and then go ahead and take care of the Magic and the OKC Thunder. I think they're capable of doing that.
Okay, so I'm putting you down for that. So tomorrow night, we will be in studio for the post-game show. We'll be live. At Tovash 10 has already put his stake in, and it's going to be the return of Mr. Azad, Mr. at EA Sports CFW. We'll be back Tuesday. Although I don't think it's going to be a good night for him tomorrow night because he's got to answer for his guy Steven, who's not handling the finances of the Cowboys well, from what we're understanding here.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting conversation.
This guy's supposed to be the guy with the calculator, and we're in salary cap hell because of this guy.
Yeah.
So somebody's got some explaining to do. EA is supposed to be the face of Cowboys Nation, so we'll find out what he has to say for himself because it's not looking good for his guy. Not looking good for his guy at all.
Are we going to have an opportunity tomorrow to also speak on that young punk and the old Cam Newton situation? Are we going to be able to speak on that?
We might get to that in the first. We're just going to keep going to the time for the Mavericks to start or whatever.
There you go.
So we got a couple topics for the Mavericks to start. So, but we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go. But so we'll see everybody. And not only tomorrow. Will we be there? We'll be taking live phone calls tomorrow. If you want to call in, we'll be taking phone calls live on the Mavs Post Game Show in studio tomorrow. Matter of fact, not only are we going to be in studio tomorrow, we're going to be in studio Thursday night also too.
Same thing.
You know what? Depending on how I go, I might say let's go to the studio on Saturday night. Let's go to the studio on Saturday night after they take on Brooklyn. I just might do it. I don't know yet. See how I'm feeling. But yeah, man. So we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Like we always say, if we don't see you around, then we'll see you around.